What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We are making our YouTube/podcast return. It has been a while since we last talked to everybody. Hope you guys have all been doing well. We are getting back with some more 613 banger original content. As always, I'm your boy Cameron.
I'm your boy Eddie Benton. We back, baby. We're back. It's been a while.
Guys, it has been a while, but we're ready. We're back. We're going to make it a little professional while we start things out. But, as the summer goes along, no promises. We might be getting a little more craziness. Who knows? We'll see what happens, but a lot's happened since we last spoke to everybody. Sports world's going crazy, but the one that's been popping off the most, and it's going to be the topic of our video today, is soccer taking Canada by storm. And obviously everybody knows the big news is Canada qualifying for the Men's World Cup in Qatar this year, but there has been a team holding it down for much longer than the men's team, and that's the women's team. So Eddie's going to catch us up on what's really going on over there before we get into the men's team.
Yeah, so while the men's team's been struggling ever since we've been born, the women's team's been the one that's keeping us on the map. They've been medaling at Olympics and doing not so well in the World Cup, but we hosted the World Cup here in Ottawa, and the women's team deserves credit because this past summer, we won the gold. Canada won the gold in soccer for the women's team. It was fantastic. I don't know if you were watching it, that penalty shootout. I remember I was at camp and we were watching it with all the kids. And when that went in, everyone started sprinting around, tarps off, Canadian anthem playing. It was great. It's what we needed. And the women deserve credit for carrying this team. And an issue with the women's now is that, hey, they're not being shown on TV. They had some games in Vancouver the past week and not on TV. And I understand that One Soccer is showing it, so you do want to watch soccer, you just subscribe to One Soccer. But hey, we need the game on Sportsnet and TSN, and those companies got to step up and start showing soccer in Canada to really grow as a sport. Because hey, we're a soccer nation. We need the games on public TV. Kudos to Canada ex-national team. You guys are the best.
True, like Eddie said there, that's honestly the biggest issue is the broadcasting of these games. Even the men's games that we saw in qualifying during the CONCACAF qualifiers, most of them, they finally got picked up by Sportsnet once they were actually making some serious noise, but most of them, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's still One Soccer broadcast being shared on Sportsnet.
Yeah, so...
And even the setup itself, it just looks really, unprofessional, and it's just if soccer's taking over in Canada, we're going to talk about it a lot more in this video, but give it the professional respect it deserves, because you're not going to grow the game if it's looking Bush League on TV.
Yeah.
Because that's where people see the game. That's where you broadcast. That's where you market it to.
And no disrespect to One Soccer. They're the only ones that are doing it. They're the ones that stepped up and bought all the rights for the Canadian games. And they're doing the best they can with their budget. And of course, Sportsnet bought the rights to kind of share the One Soccer broadcast for the 10 games that Canada was playing. But for sure, these big professional companies, Rogers and Bell, you guys are big Canadian companies. You own a monopoly in the market. You guys better start showing One Soccer. Just show it as a channel on your TV. I don't understand.
If you want some good content, just call 613 Sports Boys up, Sportsnet, TSN. Come send your boys some jobs. We'll fix all your other content.
We got you.
Don't even worry.
We're the experts here.
But yeah, like Eddie said, even we saw, we'll get into the World Cup group stage, the draw, TSN picked that up, and you even saw it right there. It was night and day, the difference between the coverage between what we've been seeing and that one group stage draw. It dragged on forever. But we even had James Duthie interviewing John Herdman right after the draw. Where has that been for the past few months, the past few years? The women's team, it's nothing new. They've been holding it down. They had John Herdman for years, making noise. Now he's on the men's side of things. And honestly, I know it kind of sucks, but we hope that if the men's team's making progress finally, it will not only help the men's team get more coverage, but also the women's team. I know it's kind of it's a very sexist way of viewing things, but hopefully it's just I know it's a bad way to get there, but if it has the right effect in the long term, hopefully it'll benefit. But we need to get these games on TV with good broadcasts. But anyways, like we said, moving on now from the coverage side of things, Canada, their group has been drawn. They are drawing a group of Belgium, Croatia, and Morocco. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it done towards the end of qualifiers to get a higher seed and get in the higher pot for the group stage draw. They've got a bit of a tough group, but we'll throw it over to Eddie, European expert, and break us down. He's an Arsenal fan, so he's not that much of an expert, but he knows what's going on over there with the teams we're playing against.
So Canada, we have a tough group, but looking at it from a positive point of view, we escaped a lot harder groups. We could have gotten in a lot of bad groups. So this one's actually not too bad. Belgium, second best team in the world. They have the likes of De Bruyne, Lukaku, Hazard. Incredible team.
Courtois holding it down in net.
Croatia, World Cup finalists a couple times. They're well in the Euros as well. They're a very solid team with Modric and all these players, know them. However, Croatia is on the aging side of things. They're still very good, don't get me wrong, but they're on the aging side. They're not as good as they've been the past couple of years. Morocco, African team, very good. However, I think Canada can compete. Don't get me wrong, no game here is going to be an easy walkthrough for Canada. We're in the World Cup, we're in the best teams in the world are here. However, I do believe there's a chance Canada could come second. It would require some big results. First of all, they need to beat Morocco. And then, they just need 1 point. Because usually 4 points is good enough to get out of the group stage, which means they gotta either tie Belgium or Croatia. Now, Croatia's a very good team, however, because they're older, Canada's counterattack with the pace could surprise them with a win. And in order of the games, Canada plays Belgium first, Croatia second, Morocco third. So we have everything lined up for us. The game against Belgium, there's nothing to lose there. Go out, get the nerves out, you're playing the World Cup. Who knows what happens? Maybe surprise them with a draw. Probably not, but warm up, play it properly, and then you come into the Croatia game with everything to play for. Get that point, that's all you need. You get that point, the last game is from Morocco, it's very simple. Win, and you're in. And that's how everything's gonna happen. Of course, it's gonna be very, very hard. But hey, the World Cup's in a couple months, like 8 months from now, it's in November.
Yeah.
Many things can change. We don't know what injuries or rosters. So as of now, it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be difficult the whole way through. But I think there's hope for Canada. I wanna count them out for sure. That they'll be competitive and they'll surprise a couple teams for sure.
And then going from there, Eddie, I mean, I know we've been talking about the European movement kind of thing. We're seeing a lot more Canadian players finally get noticed by European clubs and move off to Europe. I kind of want to ask, I guess, can you sort of talk us through who's playing in Europe from Team Canada, who's moving to Europe, who's going there, who's coming back, maybe stuff like that, and also what you think this means for Team Canada as a program going forward, just to kind of talk us through all that in general.
Yeah, before I was doing research for this show, a lot of the Canadian men's national team is playing in Europe, in Greece, and all these other places. I mean, so notable, you have Milan Borjan, the goalkeeper, he's playing in Red Star Belgrade for Serbia and winning titles there and stuff. Stan Adekubi's playing in Turkey. You have Richie Larea, who just moved from Toronto FC to Nottingham Forest, which is the English second tier, who they're trying to get promoted to the English Premier League. Very, very good team. He's been on the bench because the person ahead of him has just been having an absolute stellar season so far. It's gonna be very hard to get out. But hey, good progress to Richie. Stefan Eustáquio is also on the bench for FC Porto, one of the best.
Just made the move there recently, right?
One of the best clubs, one of the best clubs in Portugal, and a very top club in the world. Of course, starting on the bench, but eventually he'll get starting minutes, which is exactly what you need for development. You got Atiba and Kyle Larin playing in Besiktas in Turkey and winning leagues, winning league titles there. You got Buchanan, who just made a move to Club Bruges in Belgium, which is a huge move. He'll be playing in Europa League, maybe Champions League. Of course, you got Jonathan David, who plays for Lille currently. He is one of the top targets in Europe. You have teams like Arsenal, Chelsea, Real Madrid all wanting him, a Canadian boy from Ottawa. Isn't that incredible to think about? And of course, you got Alphonso Davies just playing Bayern Munich. So you got a lot of players in Europe, which is exactly what you need, because that's where the best players are playing. And when you're playing with the best, you improve the best. And then that's how you improve your squad as a whole. Canada has always been an untapped country for soccer because we've just been slow in developing, but there's a lot of good players here. And that's where European clubs are sort of kind of starting to notice. You look back here with Atletico Ottawa. Atletico Madrid bought Atletico Ottawa because they realized there's an untapped pool here, which they can eventually, down the road, bring up into Europe. So I think this is exactly what Canada needs. You need more players playing in Europe, which is going to just increase the quality. And it also creates a kind of pipeline for Canadian players growing up. There's a lot of immigrants in Canada. There's a lot of people who are focused on soccer. I think soccer is a faster growing sport than hockey. Hockey's going downward, soccer's going upward. So you're gonna have a lot of talent pool to start with and to work with. And this is fantastic news that more and more players are playing in the European level because there'll be more focus in Canada and probably more money put towards the program.
Absolutely. I mean, side note, Tajon Buchanan, I think, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated players on the men's national team. Every time I watch Tajon Buchanan play for Team Canada, at least, he's always making plays happen. He's not always finishing them, but he's making stuff happen. I think, going to a European club now and getting some more refined training in his club side of things, the sky's the limit for Tajon, honestly. I think maybe not Jonathan David, Alphonso Davies ceiling, but I definitely think we could see him playing for, a Champions League side squad in the next 5-10 years. I definitely see that kind of potential for him.
I like what you mentioned by refined. A lot of these players are just talented, but it's a lot rawness to it. And these top clubs are going to refine it. Look at Alphonso Davies, what he was doing in Vancouver Whitecaps. He goes to Bayern Munich and he's one of the best left backs, if not the best left back in the world.
It's crazy.
Jonathan David just playing in Lille. He wins the league with Lille and now he's one of the
Gloucester Dragons legend.
Literally, Gloucester Dragons, and now he's one of the world's most top wanted forward. You got all these massive clubs wanting. Playing in Europe is going to refine, and players like Richie Larea, who are very good potential, getting playing time or just even training in Nottingham Forest or you stack it with FC Porto. They're going to refine those talents so much. I'm seeing by the World Cup, you're going to see a different kind of players from all of them, just for that extra playing time, and that's what you need for the program.
Honestly. And I think the target always was for Canada was 2026 World Cups when they're really going to, have their coming out party and really kind of, it's going to be at home. At least some of the games will be in Canada. And I think kind of this year it wasn't really their goal to, make a big move in the World Cup. But I think now that they've kind of really come together as a team recently, it's just kind of all they're playing with house money. Honestly, whatever they get in this World Cup, I know it sucks to wait 4 more years, but I think whatever happens here is only going to be progress and help them develop for the next World Cup, which is their real target to make some noise. I think honestly we should just enjoy Qatar. First time we're seeing Canada World Cup since 1986. Honestly, just enjoy it. We'll see what happens, and we'll just, we're playing with house money. We'll see whatever happens.
I like what you said by house money. What you need to know is that the World Cup qualifying process for North America used to be 6 teams only. The hexagon, which is called. And Canada was always struggling to get in there. But because of COVID, they added 2 more teams, the octagon, and that's how Canada got through there. It was a long qualifying process. I don't know if you guys remember back, 2 summers ago, or I don't know how many summers ago, playing against Suriname and all these teams where you guys probably don't even know about, playing on horrible fields, and they finally got into the octagon and they won. They finished first. So by playing with house money, you came first when you weren't expected to be there. So like you said, we're in the World Cup. It's enjoying the moment. We're not here to be rolled over, right? We're here to do some damage. And hey, last World Cup, we didn't score a single goal in 1986. We lost all our games.
I mean, I was about 14 years before either one of us were born, so it's been a long time.
This year, I want to see a goal from Canada. Let's see some points. Hey, if we get 4 points, we're going to the knockout stage. Even if we get a win or a draw, anything. Let's see some points, but like I said, let's enjoy the World Cup.
Exactly.
It's going to be blast.
Let's enjoy it, and then 2026, the party's coming.
Exactly.
But anyways, that's kind of the player side of things in Canada. Now we're going to move on to the actual club side of what's been going on here. And if any of you know anything about the CPL, then obviously you know who my man Eddie is. He's been holding it down with ATO, Cap City SG. Big supporters of 613 Sports. Really appreciate all the hard work they're doing here in Ottawa for the soccer culture. But CPL this year, it just started, I believe, last weekend. Entered its 4th season. It was a little bit of a rocky start in the first couple of years of the league with Ottawa, the relationship there. But things have been going a lot smoother now. We have Atletico Ottawa. We hopefully have some stability here with soccer in Ottawa. But Eddie, just walk us through what's been going on with CPL so far and how have their first 4 years been going.
It's been tough. COVID played a big part. They started in 2019, had a good season. Atletico Ottawa wasn't part of it at that moment. But then after that, in 2020, Atletico Ottawa joined COVID season. We had the island bubble, 7 games. Fun, but it's not what soccer is. You don't play 7 games and crown a champion.
Sure.
The next season, 2021, the beginning of the season was in a Winnipeg bubble because of COVID, before moving there. It did impact stuff, Atletico Ottawa had a bad start to the season. It was too late to pick it up near the end. Again, not making excuses. They were horrible last season. But finally, we're here. 2019, 2021. Sorry, 2020 was the Island Games. So now we're here, 4th year, finally a normal season. From April to October, cross your fingers, we have a full regular season, 28 games for each team. You're playing each team 2 at home and 2 away. It's gonna be a blast. The season started last week, and we already had one of the goals of the season, a 90th minute, a last-second bicycle kick to tie the game from Edmonton.
It was insane. I saw it on Twitter. It was crazy.
Scenes. No, but CPL is what you need. We need a top flight in Canada. You can't be a soccer country without having a top flight.
True.
Yes, compared to...
we have what right now? We have 3 pro teams. That's about it. Besides CPL, we have MLS.
So the MLS is higher than CPL.
We need options for Canadian players.
Division 1
here.
In the big picture, Division 1's MLS. CPL, Division 2, Division 3. Doesn't matter. But in Canada,
we need pro options.
Pro options, right? And before growing up, there was no pro options. Realistic.
There was nothing.
Unless I was Jonathan Day, and I'm not going to Europe, right? I'm not that good. So now this is perfect. It creates a pipeline for players directly from university to pro, where you can keep playing and growing, and that's what we're talking about. Growing the talent pool, untapped market here in Canada, and that's exactly what we need. The CPL is already expanding. They announced finally yesterday, Langley is getting a team next year. Saskatoon and Windsor have been announced for whenever they're gonna come in, but the league's been growing. They want to get so many more teams. The League One, so the semi-pro leagues, so League One Ontario, League One BC, and the PLSQ, which is Quebec, they've all joined together under League One Canada, so they're basically a unified front, which is the start of creating a nice promotion relegation thing eventually. So you have a system in place similar to what we see in England with multiple leagues. And that's what you need to become a soccer country. And I think the CPL is very important. If you like soccer, make sure to go support it, support your local team, and it's going to be very good. So hop on before people say it's a bandwagon.
Exactly. Get in there while you still can.
Exactly.
With those ground level investments. You touched on it there for a second, Eddie, though, but kind of this pipeline from U Sports and University Sports
Yep.
to CPL. There was really big news a few weeks ago now with Carleton men's soccer coach Kwesi Loney. He's not leaving Carleton, but he will be joining the ATO coaching staff. You kind of just walk us through what that might mean for Carleton, but also ATO, bringing on such an experienced and highly respected coach in the city?
Yeah, so there's a lot of issues in the beginning where people were saying the team have a good relationship with Carleton because they didn't draft any players. Nothing, you know. Carleton is one of the best soccer programs in the country, you know, finalists in nationals at home this past fall, which was a crazy game, and then coming 4th place the year before COVID. I don't even know the timeline anymore. But one of the best soccer programs in the country, and you expect Ottawa, Atletico Ottawa, to, you know, tap into that. You have one of the best prospect pool in the country in your own backyard, and you're not taking anything. So people were pretty confused. There's some articles going out saying, is the relationship bad, and rumors. But then Atletico Ottawa announced the head coach, Kwesi Loney, as an assistant coach, and the best news is that he will still be the head coach of Carleton come the fall, which is exactly what you need. You need that bridge between the two programs, and we're already seeing progress as the Carleton goalkeeper Cal Potter was seen in training with Atletico Ottawa.
Really?
And today on the press conference with Carlos Gonzalez, the head coach, he told me that it's actually the club's main target, one of the targets this season, to develop these players and give them a chance. And even though they have a secondary role right now in the team, they want to develop them and hopefully make them the future of the club. And that's exactly what you need, you know? Growing up from elementary school to high school to university, you want to have that goal of getting into the pro leagues, right?
Sure.
And if you're going to Ottawa, you have literally the perfect pipeline. You go club level, you make university, and then you have a chance to be drafted into the league. And I think that's exactly
what... club with massive ties to Europe as well.
Exactly, that's another thing. Atletico Madrid owns the club. So you have the pipeline all the way up to the Europe, up to the big leagues. So it gives more opportunities for players, which I can speak from experience. I never had growing up. Growing up, the highest level would probably be university. So I'm there, okay, maybe I should focus on something else. You know, I can't really put much time into soccer. But now, hey, you can put as much time as you want because you know there's a chance to make it all the way.
There.
Right? So that's exactly what we need. And Atletico Ottawa, it's glad to see them making that bridge. And I think Kwesi Loney is going to help a lot in building that relationship between the two programs.
I mean, the foundations are definitely in place. All the kind of hardware is there. I guess all the structure is there now. We just honestly need time. I think that time and the right people in place to make these things work. And we'll see. I'd say in the next 10 years, massive progress in soccer, not just in Ottawa, but Canada as a whole. But like we said, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on, and that's kind of our quick wrap up for everybody who hasn't been keeping up with what's happening in the soccer world. If you want more in-depth information, or you want to keep in tune with what's going on, follow us on Twitter, 613_sports. Eddie is killing it, breaking news for soccer, ATO. We're always on lock there. Our website, there's tons of ATO content going on all the time there. Season just started up. Huge win for Atletico Ottawa to start the season off. Already off to a better start than last year, so I mean, hop on.
It's massive.
Exactly. But that's gonna do it for this week's video. Thanks everybody who tuned in. Hopefully you guys like, comment, subscribe. We'll hopefully be doing a lot more of these now. You know, not a big deal, but somebody might have been graduating Carleton journalism as we're making this video. Not a big deal. Eddie's almost done his degree. One more semester to go. We are 2 more semesters. You guys get the diff. But anyways, that's gonna do it for this week's video. Let us know in the comments what you want to see from our kind of new comeback sort of thing. We hope to make lots of more content. If you want more serious stuff, let us know, like this kind of style. You want more goofing around, a mix of both, let us know. We're open to anything, open to suggestions. Appreciate all the support. Like the video, like I said, and we'll see you guys soon.
Peace.
Yeah, I'm leaving. Ice on me, man. I got diamonds, but they say that